Rome had survived Nero, survived his poetry recitals at midnight, survived his mother's assassination, survived even the Great Fire. But in 68 AD, as his blood seeped into the dirt of a freedman's villa, the empire faced a terrifying question. What now? The answer came in a single violent year. 4 emperors rose and fell by sword and treachery. Until, from the ashes of civil war, emerged an old general named Nerva. With him began an experiment so rare in history, we still whisper about it today. What if rulers were chosen not by blood, but by merit? What if power was given, not taken? For 84 years, 5 men would prove it possible. This is the truth behind Rome's golden age, and the rot hidden beneath its gilded surface. Nerva was 66 years old when the Praetorian Guard thrust him onto the throne. A lifetime of political survival had taught him one truth: emperors who crossed the military died screaming. So when the Guard demanded the execution of Domitian's assassins, he faced an impossible choice: avenge a tyrant or reward murderers. His solution changed history. He adopted Trajan, Rome's most fearsome general, as his heir. In that moment, the principle of meritocracy was born. But Nerva's gamble came at a cost. The Praetorians, furious at being denied blood, cornered him in the palace baths. They raped his favorite cupbearer, then forced the emperor to thank them for their loyalty. 3 months later, Nerva was dead. The Senate declared him divine. The soldiers spat on his statues, and Trajan, he marched into Rome with 0 veterans at his back and a lesson seared into his mind: kindness is weakness. Trajan expanded Rome further than any emperor before or since. Dacia fell, Parthia burned. The empire stretched from Scotland to the Persian Gulf, yet in his final years, something broke. Paranoia crept in. He ordered the execution of his most trusted general, Lucius Quietus, the very man who'd secured his eastern victories. Then came the blood cough. As fever racked his body, Trajan did the unthinkable. He named Hadrian, his distant cousin, as successor. Some claim it was his wife Plotina who forged the documents. Others whisper Trajan, in his delirium, finally saw the truth, that no amount of conquest could fill the hole where trust should be. His last words were never recorded, only this: as his body was carried back to Rome in a golden urn, the eastern provinces revolted. The bloodiest war of Hadrian's reign had already begun. Hadrian built walls, physical ones, like the 73-mile barrier slicing Britain in half. Emotional ones, like the cold silence he imposed after his lover Antoninus drowned in the Nile. And psychological ones, 580, 0 dead, at Betha alone. He was a poet who ordered massacres, an architect who designed his own mausoleum before turning a traveller who spent more than half his reign outside Rome, yet micromanaged every tax collection. Modern psychologists might diagnose bipolar disorder. His contemporaries simply called him Graeculus, the Greekling, because beneath the soldier's cloak beat the heart of a philosopher-tyrant. When he died, drained by years of chronic pain, the Senate refused to declare him a god. Only time would sanctify his works and whitewash his crimes. His meditations, written in Greek amid the carnage of the Marcomannic Wars, remain a masterpiece of Stoic thought. But philosophy crumbles before reality. When the Antonine Plague killed 5 million, including his co-emperor Lucius Verus, Marcus responded by persecuting Christians as scapegoats. When barbarians breached the Danube, he spent 14 years in muddy frontier camps, slowly dying of stomach ulcers. And in his greatest betrayal of principle, he named his worthless son Commodus as heir. Why? Because blood, it seemed, still mattered more than merit. On March 17th, 180 AD, Marcus died in Vienna, his last words lost to time. Within hours, Commodus reversed every one of his father's policies. The golden age was over. The decline had begun. We remember the 5 good emperors as an anomaly, 84 years of enlightened rule in a sea of tyranny. But peel back the gilding and the rot shows through. Nerva's weakness, Trajan's paranoia, Hadrian's cruelty, Antoninus' complacency, Marcus' hypocrisy. Their true legacy wasn't justice, but the illusion of it. A carefully staged performance proving that even the best rulers rely on violence, propaganda, and the systematic silencing of dissent. Rome didn't fall because of bad emperors. It fell because the good ones taught the world to expect so little from power. Next episode, we'll witness Commodus's reign of terror and ask the uncomfortable question, was he really worse, or just more honest?